Hi. Hello. Good evening. Salutations. He already got off me, bro. He already got off me, bro. Screw this. Luigi!
You gotta keep all this in.
And stay out!
Good googly moogly.
You definitely cannot even
That
see him.
thing
on the
is
recording
juicy.
side, What did you say?
Good googly moogly. That thing is juicy.
I don't know what that's from. We're talking about me? Hey, pause!
You have not heard that TikTok audio?
I don't think so.
Pause, pal.
I don't live on TikTok, bro. And that's not to say that you do, but I will go weeks without going on it at all. So,
Okay, yeah.
speaking of which, I need to move you
Google
down.
it.
I made that mistake last week, so for the first few minutes of last week's episode, I was like, talking in, you're down here. This is where you are. Hello.
I'm not here.
Welcome back to the Headaches Now Takes podcast, by the way. I'm your host, Chaperian, alongside my co-host, Hern. He is not over here, like I tried last week when I was recording. He is actually over here, I think. Maybe I did it wrong
Yes.
again 2 weeks in a row. It's hard to say.
You're right.
Am I right,
The
though?
way you just pointed. To your left.
We'll see. Yeah, I think I'm right this week. But that's Hern, a.k.a. Schmax Golbadong, a.k.a. M. Night Shabalaba Ding Dong, a.k.a. the sole reason Patrick Mahomes ended up at number 4 on the list of the top 100 NFL players? What are we doing with that? The Herniator. How are you, sir?
What's up, pal? Yeah, dude, number 4.
That's
Which, I mean, that whole
disgraceful.
list is like...
Who's 1, 2,
I
3?
don't
Do we
buy it.
know? They put Kelsey over him?
Tyreek's 1.
Who?
All I saw was Tyreek was 1.
Wow, they put Tyreek at 1? He's not better than Mahomes.
He was 4 last year.
He's not better than Justin Jefferson. I'm willing to put him second in the wide receiver conversation. And we don't have to get into it, but this is not what I really want to talk about. That list is a joke. You say, it's based off last season. Aaron Rodgers was 92nd. Joe Burrow is 39th, and if it was just based off of last season, he's not the 39th best player of last season. So it's not.
It's like a little bit of both.
They swear it's
Yeah,
based off of
like-
last season. It's not based off last season. In which case, by the way, isn't that just the MVP rankings? Top 100 MVP rankings
Should
from
be.
last season, basically, right? In which
Yeah,
case, the
yeah, it should
MVP
be.
always is going to get number 1. Lamar didn't get number 1 over Mahomes, right? It's
I don't know
possible
who the
they
top
put
3 were,
Lamar
honestly.
over Mahomes. But that's ridiculous if they did.
Yeah, if they did, I'd be surprised. I don't know, honestly. I don't
Players
know what
might
the
have.
top-
It's hard to tell.
Yeah. So, honestly, don't read into it too much.
Yeah, you're the reason Mahomes ended up at number 4, bro. What is the deal with you? What's wrong with you?
That's on me, pal. He needs humbled. He needs knocked down a peg.
Does he, though? I mean, he kind of just mostly minds his business. I like Mahomes. I've always liked Mahomes. That's my big dilemma with him is, like, I like Mahomes. I like Mahomes a lot. I think he's a fine person. I really like him as a player. I thought... Here we go. Pat myself on the back. I do like to pat myself on the back for this because I was like, see, I'm so smart. Even though I ultimately understated him massively. When he was coming out of college from Texas Tech, rumored to be somewhat of a first-round pick. Okay? He ended up going like 10th, I think. But that was like they traded up to get him, and we thought, like, that's a little early. I am on the record as being like, he is the best quarterback in this draft class. He is the best quarterback in this draft. I think he's going to have the best future. Either the next year or the year before. It would have been the next year or 2 years after, actually. I'm also on the record as saying Josh Rosen is going to be the best quarterback in this draft class. And he was out of the league in like 2 seasons. So, yeah. So, I pat myself on the back, but then I also, show that I don't really know what I'm talking about,
They did. They have Mahomes 4, Christian McCaffrey 3, Lamar Jackson 2, and Tyreek Hill 1.
Lamar Jackson is... Okay, so the players think that he's the best player on the Ravens, yeah?
Apparently.
10 points in the AFC Championship game. 10. From an MVP. When they stopped Mahomes, to 17 points. We talked about this last week. He's not the second best player in the NFL. Give me a freaking break.
No.
He's the second best quarterback in his own division. He's not the second best player in the NFL. Okay? Let's be very clear here. You're not coming through, by the way. Did you mute yourself? Oh, now you are. Now you're coming through. Your laughing wasn't coming through at all. I have a question for you, sir.
Okay.
I finally got College Football 25 last night. I know you will not be purchasing. # you hate Madden.
Hashtag Madden sucks.
I think Madden sucked. And my first
EA
order of
hater,
business,
I
I
hate
went
EA.
in. You go. What were you saying? What?
I just said EA hater. I hate EA.
I love that. Deep cut or inside joke. I don't know which one that technically is. I got College Football 25 last night. I'm a little behind. I think it's like 3 weeks that it's been out at this point. Whatever. But I got it as a result of game share with my brother-in-law. So shout out him. I believe he would call himself an adamant listener of the podcast, so he's definitely listening to this. So shout out him.
So,
and it just kind of happened. I was like, oh, cool. Like I was planning on getting it eventually. Whatever. First order of business was I played as Michigan against Ohio State, because if your first game isn't as the team that you mess with the most, it's kind of weird. It's like your first order of business was jumping in and playing as a rando team. Like that's weird. So I was like, I gotta play as Michigan, beat Ohio State, as Michigan has done lately. And then I jumped right into Dynasty mode. And I do think one of the funnest things to do in college football video games is to take a rando school and build them up. So I am playing as a school that might not actually be all too far from you, and that is Texas State. Okay?
I think Texas State is about 20 minutes from here. It's in San Marcos.
Yes! Are you for real?
Yeah.
That's crazy!
Yeah.
As of right now, as of yesterday, I'm the number one Texas State fan in the whole world. So, dude, I will be pulling for them this season, even though they're in Marshall's conference, which is kind of contradictory. Not against Marshall.
Sun Belt?
Otherwise, yeah, they're in the Sun Belt. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's who I've been playing as. We beat Ohio State week 1, and I made Ohio State travel to San Marcos. I made Ohio State travel here.
Okay.
Week 1.
Okay.
Week 2, I lost to Alabama because, dude, right before halftime, I got the ball at the half, but I was down 7-0. It was my first possession of the game because Alabama ran the clock the whole first half, okay? Mm-hmm. I passed on a touchdown at the goal line. I passed on it. I slid. I was like, hold on. Too much time left on the clock, right? Too much time left on the clock. And then I didn't score the touchdown. Okay? So I'm like, I'm going to lose this game. I end up taking the lead in the fourth quarter. I'm up 4, right? Alabama throws a pick with 2.5 minutes left in their own in the end zone to me. I'm like, yeah, right? I'm going to win. I'm going to beat Alabama. I go 3 and out. They score to go up 3. Dang it. It's now 13-10. Okay? I score with 8 seconds left on the clock. 17-13. They run the kickoff back as time expires. Which is a massive problem with the game. It's a massive problem with the game. Everyone knows that, like, hold on. Good God. What? It's fine. I got a notification from an app, and I'm like, why am I getting bothered right now? Sorry. That's a massive problem with the game, is that kick returns are too hard to stop and too easy to run back. Like, there was one time on an online game where they had, like, 4 consecutive, like, one guy did, and the other guy, and then one guy, and the other guy, like, back to back to back to back. It's like, okay. So, that got me thinking. And by the way, I beat Ole Miss. They were number 3 in the country. I beat them in week 3. So we're 2-1. We have 2 top 10 wins. Should have 3 top 10 wins. San Marcos is rocking right now. Quarterback Jordan McLeod might get some Heisman talk. We'll see. What's a rando school? Hate to put you on the spot. A rando school, D1, that you're like, this would be fun. To make them win the national title. I hate to put you on the spot because I know you're not one to just pull one out of a hat.
Yeah, I never thought of it because I definitely follow college sports. I don't not, but you could name probably 30 times the number of college schools right now that I could.
Probably.
So I probably would just pick, like, I would pick WVU or Marshall. I would pick, like...
Marshall's considered a rando to most people, but we grew up in West Virginia, and I went there. Right. So it's like, they're not rando to us. But that one guy, that big YouTuber, they were in, like, his Final Four. And, like, schools were throwing stuff at him to be like, and they chose Nebraska. Nebraska's a blue blood. Are you freaking kidding me? You chose a blue blood school with, like, tons of national titles to be your first team? Mm-hmm. Miss me, bro.
That's stupid. That's stupid.
Keep
going. I would pick... I would pick West Virginia or Marshall, shocker, or I would search around, like, near me. I might do UTSA.
Yes, the Roadrunners
as well. The Roadrunners, they were fun last year. I enjoyed watching their games. So, yeah, I'd do a local team or one of our random local teams from our hometown. Probably nothing too interesting.
Yeah,
I guess
it's interesting. Like, for some reason, I was so called to Texas State. From the second, like, that we knew this game was going to happen. I was like, I have zero reason as to why, by the way. 0. I don't even think Marshall played them last year, and Marshall doesn't play them this year either. So for what it's worth. There's no conflicting there unless it's in the conference title game. I'm pulling for Texas State this year, folks. I hope they get that G5 playoff spot, and they just leave Michigan alone. That's what I hope for. Hashtag #1 Texas State fan. Hashtag I love Texas State.
I'm gonna get you some gear.
Yeah. Go drive 20 minutes to give me a Texas State hat.
I just looked it up. I'm 21.5 miles.
Dude, that's crazy. That's actually wild.
So
you could go to the bookstore Monday and be like, whatever.
We go to San Marcos all the time.
Do you really?
So, yeah. That's like there's a couple. Dude, okay, call back. That's where we got what we think was shot at. Remember when my back glass got?
Oh yeah,
shot.
I know the story
that was
well.
In San Marcos. That was in San Marcos. That's like there's like outlets there, so a lot of people go there for shopping. There's a river there you can go.
Yeah, dude.
Float.
That's also where nice. Ohio State went down in week 1, brother.
Yes.
To the Bobcats, baby.
The Bobcats. I can't even tell you what they were. The Bobcats.
The Bobcats. They had to travel there. They're not playing in Columbus. They're traveling there.
I love that. Probably. How many people does their football stadium hold?
Oh, it looks like a high school stadium, my guy. It literally looks like a high school stadium. I would imagine it's probably like 20K. That's my guess. What does it come out to?
Whoa, 30,000.
30K. Okay, not bad.
Okay.
Yeah. I imagine, though, it's funny because, like, they are a small school. There's no way around it on the grand scale. Like, they're barely D1. They weren't D1. They have some Division I AA titles. National championships, that is, in football. But that's the one. That's like what Marshall has championships in, is Division I AA in the 90s, okay? Texas State has a couple from the 80s. So they are smaller. But I imagine, though, because they're in Texas, it's like they're a small school, and they're probably 5 times the size of Marshall University because it's Texas. If I had to guess.
Maybe, yeah.
So
you're talking about like student body population?
Yeah, I imagine they probably dwarf Marshall. Just a guess. I have no clue. Well, what is the total student body for the Texas State Bobcats?
Enrollment, this is as of 2016, apparently. Okay. But they had right at 39,000.
Oh, yeah. That's significantly bigger than Marshall then. So I don't know the number for Marshall. I'm not going to guess it. But
that's bigger than WVU's, too.
Are you for real?
I think they were around 30, if I remember right.
There you go. I mean, that right there puts it into perspective, bro. And that's the major university in our home state.
24,000 for 2023. They had 24.
Dude, Texas State needs like one good season, and they're gonna be like in UCF territory of like, oh, they get good recruits now. That's just what they do. Or Houston, like they get good recruits. That's just what they do. So, what's Marshall have? Like 11,000?
I'm just curious now. So Michigan in 2022 had 51,000.
Yeah.
Marshall, place your bets. I'm gonna say like, I don't even know.
I'm gonna say
11.
I think WVU more than doubles this up. I think it's 11. Yeah.
In 2015, y'all apparently had 13.
Okay, it's gone down since then. It's been going down over the recent years. Since 2017, and until I graduated in December 21, it was going down. I can tell you that. So.
Okay. I don't know why this is so hard to find like a updated numbers to some of these schools.
I don't know.
I mean, that's almost 10 years ago at this point. You can't.
God, that's actually a good point. Yeah. All of this to say, I'll say one more thing about this and then we'll move on. But my number one favorite thing about them so far, which I didn't even know when I picked it, I was just like Texas State, whatever, random butthole school. Fun, right? The uniforms are great. They have like 5 different helmets. And they all look good, like, interchanged with each other. Like, all the helmets look good with all the jerseys, look good with all the pants. They look so cool. Very, very cool, in my opinion. So, hopefully you can find, like, hopefully some of the ones I'm thinking of. But, I like the all black. Nice. I like the script Bobcats helmet. This is not a sports podcast, by the way.
I like, I'm seeing some of these that have, like, the outline of Texas on the jersey. That's cool.
Yeah, dude. Isn't that stuff cool?
I like it.
Yeah, so I would say my favorite is the black, but they wear the gold helmet with the black, and they wear the black helmet with the black sometimes too. I don't know.
Yeah. I like this.
Yeah, they have a lot of cool ones. I might literally have you give me some Texas State gear, and I'm gonna wear Texas State gear, right? Just add into the list, right? I rep Michigan. Those are my number one for life guys. I rep my alma mater. Why not just throw Texas State in the mix, right? Who knows? Who cares?
Why not? They were 8-5 last year. They weren't terrible.
No, I think that I saw some preseason Sunbelt projections after I'd already made my mind up that I was going to play as them. That they are projected to win the Sunbelt this year, actually. So
wow, I think they were in second last year. Apparently,
they're the number 1 overall team in the Sunbelt in college football 25. Anyways, sir, I have a game I would like to play with you. Sorry that you weren't able to give me a real answer. We can say Marshall is your small school that you'd like to play with as well, by the way.
Yeah, I don't hate Marshall unless they're playing West Virginia.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, too. And I don't hate WVU at all anymore. So we've grown up. We're way past that. If you knew me in high school and most of my college years, you would know that I hated them. I don't hate them at all now. I pull for WVU, especially now that Michigan has a national title in my lifetime. With Michigan, if Michigan's out of the way, we're 8-4, we're not in the playoff, and WVU's right there. Like, they might be this year. They might win the Big... Like, they could win the Big 12 this year. Let's just... I don't know.
Some people... it's all over the place, but yeah.
It's hard to say. It's all about the defense. If that happens, I'll be pulling for you guys all the way, man. As long as you're out of my team's way. Don't get in my team's way. And then it's down with the ears, okay?
Okay.
I have a game I would like to play with you, sir. A few different games, actually. And I want to see how long it takes you to catch on, okay?
Oh, boy.
I saw these all in a video. I ripped these all straight from someone else's video, for what it's worth. These are not original games. It wasn't original for them either. These are games that exist.
Right.
And we're going to play a game. One of them, I'm just going to say this right now, if you're on Apple Podcasts or any other podcast form except Spotify, one of these games is going to be very visual. And it's not going to be super obvious, but it'll be short-lived. It'll be like a minute and a half or too long, okay? The first game, we're going to say things that we can bring and a thing that we cannot bring. We're going to go back and forth, and we'll see how long it takes you to catch on, okay?
Things that we can bring.
Yes. It's just a game. You have to...
To what?
You win the game by giving me consecutive rounds that make sense within the rule of the game. I know the rule, you don't, okay? It's one of your...
You know the category and I don't?
Precisely. Okay?
Okay.
So, I'm going to mention something I can bring and something I cannot bring, and then you'll go, okay?
Okay.
I can bring a football. I cannot bring a hockey puck.
God. This is already hard. 2 sports-related, not balls, but you know what I mean, the centerpiece
Items.
of 2 different sports.
Just name 2 things, and I'll tell you whether or not you're right.
I can bring a baseball, but I cannot bring a volleyball.
Well, you can bring a baseball. You could also bring a volleyball. Okay?
Okay.
You ready? My turn.
Okay.
I can bring cheese, but I can't bring a burger. It's going to take a few rounds for what it's worth. It took me a few rounds to get this one, okay?
Yeah, I'm very lost. At first I thought, no, that makes sense anyway.
You're going to want to keep track of what I've said you can and can't bring, by the way, the best you can, okay?
Right.
Keep a hold of the rule.
Football, not puck. Cheese, but not burger.
Cheese, but no burger.
That one threw me.
Can I have cheese, no burger? Huh?
I was like, we're in sports. Okay, great. Burger.
No, it's your turn.
We're not.
Go again. And you actually did name first round 2 things you can bring. You named 2 things you can bring in the first round. And just so you know, this is a rule that when you hear, you're gonna go so stupid. Is what you're gonna say.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah. Your turn.
I can bring a can of Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
I can't bring a book bag.
Dude, this is crazy. You can bring a can of Dr. Pepper. You can also bring a book bag. Okay? I'm going to go now. You ready? I can bring a book bag. I cannot bring a backpack.
What?
Yes.
What? Those are the same thing.
It was around this time. This round, I think it was like the 3rd round in the video I watched. Where I was like, oh, I got it. Okay.
A book bag, but not... Wait, what did you just say? But not a...
Not a backpack. Your turn.
What are the differences?
There's one specific difference that is important to this game.
One of them's got books in it.
The other one has
When
backs.
you're supposed to have books in it? Yeah. That one's got bags. It's a book of bags.
A book of backs. Your turn, sir.
I can bring a calculator. I can't bring a PlayStation 5.
Okay. You actually cannot bring either of those things. You cannot bring a calculator. You cannot bring a PlayStation 5, okay? Let me go again. Are you ready?
I want to give up.
I can bring coffee. I cannot bring tea.
I don't understand this.
So start looking back at the things that I can bring and the things I can't bring.
You can bring a football and a hockey puck. That one almost
No. I
brings
cannot
me
bring a
no
hockey
information.
puck. I cannot bring a hockey puck.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. That almost gives me no information, I think.
What else can I bring? And what I can bring does not change from round to round. I can bring everything I've said so far. Everything.
Right. And you said I could bring a baseball and a volleyball.
Yes.
But you cannot bring a hockey puck. Then you said you could bring cheese, but not a burger.
Correct. And I'm coming
said
up with other things I can bring on my own, by the way. I'm not ripping any of the items from the video. These are all my own things. But they are within the game. So
Then I said I could bring a can of Dr. Pepper
you can.
and a book bag.
You can also bring a book bag, though, is the thing.
And you said I can bring a book bag, but not a
Backpack.
backpack. And I said I cannot. You said I cannot bring a calculator nor a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
The one definitely threw me the most is the football and hockey puck. Because I'm like, how are they different?
Then ignore that. I want to go to the other ones. Then ignore that one. Go to the. It's your turn to go again. By the way, let's see if we can just nail it from something you get. You win the game by giving me 2 consecutive rounds of things you can and can't bring successfully each.
God.
Ideally, in such proving that you understand the game. We'll go a couple more and then we'll just end it. By the way, because I got a couple other I want to get through as well. So
Yeah. I can bring a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Okay.
I can't bring a steak.
Correct. You can bring a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You cannot bring steak. That is correct, sir. Okay? I've got one for you. I'm going to throw our governments out there. Okay? Do you mind? I can bring a snuffer. I cannot bring a Gilbert.
I'm so lost.
I can tell you're really starting to lose it over there, bro. I love you,
what?
man. You're hilarious.
What?
Your turn. If you get another one in a row consecutively, you're good.
I can bring... Oh, God. Hang on. I had one and I lost it.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of pairs. I'm trying to think of, okay, if this fits this category of things.
For what it's
this
worth,
might
me
also-
mentioning things in pairs honestly messes with you. It doesn't help you at all. I'm mentioning things that go hand in hand. It doesn't actually matter at all. And I'll do that in this next
This all
round
makes
for what
sense.
it's worth, okay?
Yeah. Oh, God.
I'm going to go one more time after this if you don't get it right here. And then we'll go from there.
I can bring a pencil. I cannot bring a laptop.
You cannot bring either of those things. Okay? I can bring a moose, like the animal moose. I cannot bring a cantaloupe. Any ideas? Are we cooked?
I think we're cooked, bro. You're doing a really good job of making this where, like, in hindsight 2020, I'm like, oh, yeah. But you're doing a good job at this moment.
Dude, the first few rounds, I felt like an idiot. I'm not going to lie to you. I felt like a moron
idea.
listening to this for the first few rounds. Eventually, I got a little lucky and caught on.
Okay.
You can bring things that have double letters within their words. You cannot bring things that don't. Moose, O-O. Volleyball, L-L multiple times. Football, O-O and
hockey
L-L.
puck.
Hockey puck does not have either. A can of Dr. Pepper has P's next to each other. The other thing you said, whatever it was, didn't. So you can bring things with... So like cheese but not a
Book
burger.
bag
Coffee
and
but not tea.
backpack were killer.
I thought that would be really helpful, though. I'm like, that's the same thing. What's the difference between these two?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think you said book bag second, and you would have had technically a full round of things like yes you can, no you can't properly if you had said backpack. I thought that was interesting. Like you said backpack, you're good. You said book bag, so you're not.
Wow.
So funny, huh?
Yeah, I was not looking into the spelling of those things at all. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna play a second game. This is the visual one. This is gonna be really quick. I caught on after a few in this one. I think you will also catch on after this one. It is a visual game, unfortunately, but it'll be really quick, okay? So bear with us, or if you're not wanting to bear with us, skip forward about 2 minutes, I would imagine. It's called Fingers. You're going to tell me the quantity of fingers that I'm holding up. I'm going to say, how many is this? And you're going to give me a numerical answer, okay?
Okay.
So, in a minute, we're going to start. Can you see my fingers?
I can see you.
Okay.
You're perfect right there.
We're now going to begin from here. Are you ready? Are you ready? Or yes or no?
Sure.
Yes? Okay. How many is this?
That's 4.
It's not 4. How many is this?
1.
No. That's 4. Not 1. How many is this?
None.
No, this is 3. Not none. How many is this?
5.
You're losing it, bro. You're losing it over there, my guy. I technically started wrong, but that doesn't have an impact on the game. Keep going.
Okay. It's not 5, I'm guessing.
No, this is 1, not 5. How about this? How many is this?
2.
This is 4, not 2. What about this?
2. Wait, you said that earlier. Or does it not change?
This is
You are doing
5, not 2. What about this?
3. You probably said this. I forgot.
It changes.
Turn it around.
It changes.
That changes it?
No, not me. Not me turning it around. No.
Oh.
It's round by round.
I said 3. It's not 3.
This is 3. Yes, this is 3. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
How many is this?
1.
This is 2. Okay. How many is this?
3.
This is 4. How many is this?
4.
This is 3. How many is this?
1.
This is 3. How many is this?
What? You did 3 in a row? 5.
This is 5. How many is this?
4.
No! I thought you had it.
I do not. I absolutely
Okay,
do not.
let's restart again one more time, real quick. Sorry if you're listening at home and you skipped ahead and we're still playing this stupid game that you can't play along with because it's visual.
What is happening?
We're gonna start. Are you ready? Okay. How many is this?
2.
What'd you say?
2.
This is 2. How many is this?
4.
This is 4. How many is this?
3.
No! I thought you had it!
I don't know it. I don't know it, Fallon.
You got 2 in a row! I thought you had it! Okay. Start again real quick. One more time. We're going to begin with this. Are you ready?
4.
No. I didn't say how many is this. I said we're going to begin with this. Are you ready? Yes or no? Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many is this?
4.
No. This is 1. Okay?
Okay.
So this one was 1. How many is this?
1.
What'd you say? You're cutting out.
1.
This is 4. Okay? This one is 4. How many is this?
3.
This is 3. Okay? This one is 3. How many is this?
1.
No. It's the last one I was holding up is what it is, bro. The one before is how many this is. That's the game.
I thought you were doing one of those things where it's like if
X
you
equals
start your
this and it's
sentence
the
with-
same.
No, I thought it was like if you say how many is this, how equaled a number. If you said what about this, what equaled a number. If you said what is this one or whatever, like it's,
So
I thought maybe it's like the way you were starting your.
Sorry that that threw you off a little bit. You got
So I
2
was
in a
trying to
row
catch on to
consecutive at
something
one
like that.
point. But
Okay.
you did. You remember? You got 2 in a row, but then I was like, is he going to
did.
get this one to really show that he gets it? And then you didn't get it. I was like, he doesn't get it.
Never got that.
So,
Both these
okay.
games so far, I've been focused in the wrong area for sure.
This one is going to be similar to the first game. Just audio so you can listen along. We're just going to say what we're going to bring. We're not going to say something that we're not going to bring. Okay? Just what we're going to bring. And I'm going to always say something that you can for sure bring. Okay? You ready? Mm-hmm. You're going to say something, and I'll be like, yes, you can bring that. Or no, you can't. That's it. Easy peasy, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to bring... I'm going to bring a ring light.
Okay. I'm gonna steal something from our first round. I'm gonna bring a football.
Can I bring a football? Sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to bring... I'm going to bring a computer mouse.
I'm gonna bring a gaming controller.
Yeah, I think you can bring that. Actually, by what I think you're good. I think you're good on that one. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring a Funko Pop.
I'm gonna bring a lamp.
Can I bring a lamp?
You said a ring light. You can bring a ring light, but not a lamp.
Correct.
What the crap?
I'm gonna bring a football helmet.
You can bring a football helmet, but I can't bring a football.
Correct.
I'm gonna bring a remote control.
Can I bring a remote control?
I can't bring a TV remote. Okay.
I'm going to bring a TV.
I'm gonna bring.
This one is the dumbest of the
mattress.
games, for what it's worth. I will tell you this. This is the dumbest of the ones.
I'm gonna bring an air mattress.
I think technically you can bring an air mattress. I think technically you can, if I recall correctly. Okay. I'm gonna bring a box. Thoughts?
I'm gonna bring a bowl.
You cannot bring a bowl. I'm going to bring a plate.
Oh, this is so stupid.
This one is really dumb. I will straight up admit this one is really dumb, bro. Really dumb.
I can't bring a bowl, but you can bring a plate.
That's right. Your turn.
How about a fork?
No, you cannot bring a fork.
But you can bring a spoon. Hit me with it. Go ahead.
I'm going to bring a Tesla.
I'm gonna bring a Volkswagen Bug.
Can I bring a Volkswagen Bug? I'm going to bring Patrick Mahomes. You thought that was good? Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm gonna bring
What?
Patrick Mahomes is really okay.
What are you going to bring?
Tesla and Patrick Mahomes back to back. I'm
What are you
gonna
gonna
bring I'm gonna bring some Whataburger.
I'm going to say, technically speaking, you can bring some Whataburger. Okay? I'm going to bring some Burger King. Thoughts? What are you going to bring?
I have no idea.
You're not catching on?
No.
Okay. You go again real quick, and we'll see if we can get you caught on.
I doubt it. I'm going to bring a swimming pool.
Yeah, you can bring a swimming pool. I'm going to bring a pool noodle.
Okay. Let's kind of go together. I'm going to bring some goggles.
You cannot bring some goggles. Pay attention. I'm going to bring some goggles. Your turn.
I don't understand. I'm going to bring Patrick Mahomes.
Can't bring Patrick Mahomes. This is the dumbest one. I fully, this is the dumbest one. You can bring anything that you say or before. That's it. So you said a few times. Yeah, those are good. You can bring those. That's it. That's the game.
You said before every single thing.
Every single thing. Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't have caught on to that. I would have thought you were just thinking.
The ones that yeah, exactly, right? I like I said, that one was by far the dumbest of the games. When I said, technically speaking, I think you can do it. You were like, I'm going to bring, and then you were like, Patrick Mahomes and Tesla back to back. And you're like, Whataburger. I was like, well, you said, way back there, so I'm gonna count it, you know? So. Okay. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you're playing at home, let us know in the comments on YouTube or add us on Twitter at HeadacheSPod. Let us know. How many of the games did you catch on to? I'm curious if these are infuriating for you at home or if you had fun with that. I don't know. I'm just kind of curious as to how your experience was playing those games as well. Did you do better than the Herniator?
It'd be hard to do worse.
Did you catch on to any? Or were we over?
No, we were over. That last one I definitely wasn't on. And
then
the two before, I was locked in on trying to prove, I was trying to prove that it was what about this? How many is this?
Yeah, and I don't blame you at all.
And then the first one, I definitely I would have never thought to read into this.
I played one with Kat as well after this. She's never seen before. That I will literally do 2 rounds of. I think you've seen these. I imagine you've seen these, and this is not going to get you at all. Okay, are you ready? So we've got. Can you see this? Mm-hmm. Is it open or closed?
Closed.
Yeah, you know these. Yeah, you know these. Yeah, we're all about those. I had a feeling you would know that. That's why I was like, I'm not playing that with him because I think he knows that one already. I just had to take yes.
That one's hard too because you got a 50-50 shot.
It is 50-50, so you'll get it and be like, why did I get it that time?
Yeah. I guess a lot of them you technically have. I mean, you always have a 50-50 shot, but that one, yeah.
It took 6 or 7 times, and Kat caught on to that one too. I mean, but when I first saw it on TikTok, I did not get it. And if you didn't know, and especially if you're listening, somebody will have a water bottle in their hand, and they'll open it and close it, but that has nothing to do with it. When they say, is it open or closed, they're referring to their mouth. Mm-hmm. So, kind of stupid. I had fun with that. I think that stuff was funny. But now we're moving into something serious real quick because it's been too long since we talked about conspiracies on the show. Sir, you have a burning conspiracy theory that you do think you believe in. You're like, yeah, I think this is true. I've got one that I think is true. I've seen it came up, someone else came up with it ages ago. It is a rumored conspiracy that I believe in. I do think it's true. And you've got one as well. So it's time for me to shut up for a little bit. Why don't you tell me what conspiracy that is on your mind that you too somewhat believe in? Now, we'll preface it by saying we didn't full research, tinfoil hat these. We're kind of chatting, right?
Yeah, we're chatting.
Okay.
One that I've got that I do, I'm not gonna necessarily say there is one specific example that people say, yes, this thing, we have the capability or whatever. I'm not going to necessarily say that. I'm just going to say
this could go a million ways.
It's close. I think that's definitely possible. I think, personally, I'm not going to directly sit here and say, we know the cure for cancer. We just don't release it because it pays bukus of money.
Whoa!
To treat people. But to say, I don't know how it's 2024 and all the money that is apparently funded per year to figure out cancer, and we can't figure it out. One of my biggest things for we can figure this out, but we can't figure out cancer. Dude, have you heard of Neuralink? That thing Elon Musk is making?
Insane to me. Yeah, Neuralink. I will never get one. I'll tell you that right now.
Here are some things that Neuralink, which if for anybody that doesn't know, it is quite literally they replace. I don't think they replace part of your brain, but they put something in your brain. Cut open your skull, put this plate in your brain, like Cousin Eddie. And
when the microwave goes off,
I pee my pants and forget where I am for a half hour or so.
Keep going.
Neuralink, a brain-computer interface. It can cure, relieve, no longer make these things ailments, paralysis, neurological disorders such as dementia, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's. Hearing, can just restore your hearing. Vision. It can also treat conditions like autism, depression, schizophrenia, stroke, ALS, addiction, obsessive-compulsive disorder. We can treat, quote-unquote, paralysis.
Psychological disorders.
Psychological crap? And we can't figure out cancer? I'm like, I don't know. It makes sense to me. And obviously, that's how any conspiracy theory is. It gets steam, is because a point for it kind of makes sense. I think the point does make sense that Big Pharma probably ain't going to like it. If we ever do 100% take this pill, you'll never get cancer. Big Pharma is either going to charge buttload for that pill, or they're not going to like it. Another one that goes along with this that I agree, like, this isn't a conspiracy theory, I just think it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in this year of our Lord 2024.
Yes.
The cars, the MPG we're getting with cars, no way. We could get better.
I agree.
10,000%.
Yeah, I'm with you there, bro.
But
every other piece of technology in the world is like that.
Substantially improved.
Or what you're doing with it is different. Like, phone batteries still last kind of the same time, a little longer actually, but what is that phone doing now? 10 times more than it was even 5 years ago.
Right.
Keep going.
The computer chip, a PlayStation 2 memory card was more up to date than like some NASA computers, dude. You're telling me that, and yeah, Prius, that there are models out there, Priuses get 54 miles a gallon. That's great. I promise you we have the capabilities to make a car that gets 200 miles a gallon. We do. But big oil and people, why would they want that? They don't. They wouldn't allow it. The world, and this is maybe my biggest conspiracy theory, I think the world is run by businesses, so they're not going to let certain things happen that derail their business, such as a cancer-curing pill that then you don't get literal hundreds of thousands of dollars from two families, let alone the whole freaking country or the world who has cancer. I think maybe we could. If
nothing else,
this neuro thing is insane.
If nothing else, this does pass one of the very first conspiracy tests that I don't know all of off the top of my head, so don't grill me on that. I just know that, like, I had one ran by me 2 weekends ago that I thought was so ludicrous that I wanted to scream at the person to get off Facebook. And I'm not going to get into it. I can tell you afterwards if you remind me, Hern. What was that conspiracy about? I'll tell you, okay?
Okay.
But it did not pass the conspiracy test. I'm like, this would not pass this test. It makes no sense. I can so easily point out there's no way that's true. Not only do I have all this info on it, it also makes no sense. Both, okay?
Okay.
These do pass the test of, number one, there is reason to conspire for this. And by the way, if you noticed last week, I have all these cuts on my arm. It's from one of my friend's cats, by the way, if you noticed. I didn't go emo and start cutting myself or anything like that. They're mostly gone, I guess, at this point, but I noticed them just now.
He started listening to some pop.
Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you. Have you seen that video of that guy doing that? I love that video, dude. I love that video.
all that punk music finally got to you, bro.
Over again, do me change my mind.
They always have, like, anytime like an animal has like hair
half over his hair or something. And eye makeup. He goes, I won't live to see another day. I swear it's true. He goes. It's so good. I swear it's true. Now back to global capitalist conspiracies. Yeah, I think these pass the conspiracy test up front of, there's multiple conspiracy tests. This is one of them. Of like, is there a reason for this conspiracy to exist? There's so many conspiracies out there that make no sense, that are getting thrown around on Facebook, that people believe, and I'm like, y'all are so dumb. There's not even a reason for that to be a thing. There's no reason for that conspiracy. Like, why? Why would we do that? And I'm not going to get into those these days, because most of them these days turn political, and they're not meant to. And technically what we're talking about right now is somewhat political. I'm here to say right now, I'm very confident in saying that if nothing else, the United States is heavily ran behind closed doors by businesses. It's not even hidden. Lobbyists and the lobbying this bill and this guy lobbied. What do you think that means? It's all companies putting money in politicians' pockets, most of the time legally, to not pass or to pass bills that favor these businesses. Mm-hmm. They are literally paying off politicians. And you don't think they could withhold information that could cost them billions of dollars per year? I'm not saying it's for sure.
Epstein list.
True. What?
I said Epstein list.
Yeah, that thing that... Dude, don't even get me started on that. God.
It's insane, dude.
The amount of people who are like, I can't believe it, throw him under the jail, that are also going to vote for a certain person in November who was on that list. Sorry, just putting that out there. Sorry, just putting that out there. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, quick Google of the presidential candidates and Epstein list. Which, do them both. Bipartisan. Do them both. And see what comes up. Okay?
Bipartisan.
See what comes up. Anyways, I hope that didn't cross any lines from you, sir. Sorry if it did. But, yeah, I don't know. I think that conspiracy makes a lot of sense. Both of those do. Both of them. And
what's both? What do you mean both?
Mileage per gallon, and then your
okay.
Very different things. Similar bases, I guess you would say. Being
I'm saying
that,
they're both
you're withholding this
examples
because it helps you to withhold it. Did you know that there is a real conspiracy theory that got basically proven true? I guess I don't know if it was originally a conspiracy theory or what, but basically, like, people didn't realize this was the case. This is really the case. Did you know the light bulb companies conspired to stop making light bulbs better in like the 1930s?
Okay.
There is real, legitimate, like, paper trail evidence where the light bulb companies got together and said, guys, we got to stop making the light bulbs better. The more that we do, the less they need to buy, the worse it is for our bottom line. Dude, they started imposing penalties on each other. They, like, agreed to sign up for this, like, I guess union you would call it, whatever you want to call it, a coalition of sorts. They imposed financial penalties on each other for putting light bulbs out there that were too good. And you're telling me, we do know about that, but there's not a chance we don't know that there's a supercar that gets 300 miles per gallon of gas out there?
Yep.
They're like, don't put that. It's just a switch, like a little thing put in the engine, ta-da, whatever. Like, nah, we're not doing that. I think it's possible. Yeah. I'm not saying confidently that, yes, this is true. I think it's possible, though. Just saying.
There's a lot of things. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things like that. Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison. You ever watch the ERB?
The ERB? What's the ERB? Oh, Epic Rap Battles.
Epic Rap Battles of the
No, I didn't really like those. What happens in that one? Who says something there? I know Edison stole everything from Tesla, so...
Yeah, it's Tesla more or less saying what, if I remember correctly, is true, that, like, had Tesla been the father of electricity, whatever, we wouldn't be paying for it like we are today. At least not then. He wasn't the businessman siding with the bank.
No, and that's also why, like, Edison got... The reason Edison gets credit as the founder of a lot of these things is, if nothing else, he got patents for a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And I kind of agree to a degree of, like, especially in modern day, if I have a patent on something, you can pretty much bet I came up with it. Not the case back then. He's busy in the lab, bro, dealing with stuff. He doesn't care about a United States patent on whatever he's coming up with. Who cares? No. And so, like, Edison has all these patents for things that Tesla did do first. It's very interesting. No. Yeah. Anyways. Do you have anything further to say about your particular conspiracies or anything else to bring up?
No, I'm excited to see what you got.
Much more lighthearted, mine is. And I'm just curious because I know this is one you'll be able to comment on, 100%. You will definitely be able to give me some sort of discourse on this, okay?
Okay.
I think, especially since I started eating meat again, which is what opened this door up to me again, that I'm like, this has to be true. It has to be true. Or we're just missing something else, okay? I heard when I was in, like, high school, freshman or sophomore in high school. It's just a rumor, and And I've never even Googled it to confirm anything about it, for what it's worth. But I'm able to label it as a conspiracy because it's certainly not well-known information. If it is true, if it is out there somewhere, it's not well-known if nothing else. So maybe that's a little not cool of me. I don't know. Whatever. I think McDonald's has some sort of deal with Coca-Cola that makes Coke products taste better at McDonald's than anywhere else out of their fountains. McDonald's Coke and McDonald's High C and McDonald's Sprite, that's a whole meme, McDonald's Sprite, all taste better. It's the same syrup. They go on something, right? Like whoever it is that orders Coke. I was about to name like some Pepsi companies on accident. I was about to say like KFC and Taco Bell. Those are both Pepsi companies. Same concept though. They go in and they're like, yeah, we need, however many, I guess, pouches or bags, whatever you want to call it, for our soda machine of Pepsi and Diet Pepsi or Coke and Coke Zero and Diet Coke and Sprite. We need all these. And I imagine some sort of fulfillment center is like, yep, whatever. It's not like ketchup, where like McDonald's just have McDonald's branded ketchup. Most places have Heinz or Hunt's. McDonald's has McDonald's brand. And it is like extra sugary on top of everything else. It's really good though, like for that exact reason, right? I go to McDonald's and I say, can I have a large Coca-Cola? I say Coke Zero, but bear with me here. I go to Wendy's and I say, can I have a large Coca-Cola? I go to Five Guys. Can I have a large Coca-Cola? Anywhere that sells them. Can I get a large Coca-Cola? Yeah. They pour it from the fountain, hand it to you. Why does McDonald's always taste better? McDonald's is the numero uno company in the country in terms of fast food sales. We know that. Number one highest grossing. The fast food giant. One of the most important American companies worldwide. AKA, they are the only fast food company of a size for it to even be a possibility that this is a real thing, right? It's not like I'm coming to you and saying, yeah, Qdoba has this exclusive deal with with Coca-Cola.
Penn Station. Yeah.
Penn Station has a deal with Coke to where Sprite tastes better from Penn Station than anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I guess there is the element of the soda machines. Does maybe McDonald's have their own brand of machine that makes it taste better? I'd have to imagine that can't be true, because what can the machine do differently to make it taste better besides like the carbonation ratio? People do say like, oh, McDonald's Sprite is extra spicy. I assume they mean it's extra carbonated. And it does taste that way sometimes, but I don't feel like that's the case. But I do always feel like my Coke Zero tastes better from McDonald's. And McDonald's High C definitely tastes better. What are you finding, sir?
Just like with the McDonald's Coke, the syrup to water ratio is higher than found in most other soda fountains, and even in a can or bottle. McDonald's sends more syrup into your cup to account for the inevitable melting ice.
Dang, you know what's crazy?
Like, that's almost like it's like a thing apparently. Like
so, it's a well-known thing. Their machines are pumping out more syrup. So maybe it was dumb to even call this a conspiracy.
McDonald's has a special relationship with Coca-Cola that dates back to 1955. So most of the same reasons McDonald's Coke is so delicious apply to why McDonald's Sprite can't be beat either. It boils down to four things: water filtration, syrup ratio, temperature, and the straw.
Okay.
The straw.
But even that just said they have a special relationship with Coke. It sounds like they figured something out. Of like, this is the real deal, bro. This is what gets people in the doors. Butts in seats, baby.
McDonald's has a gold standard water filtration system that ensures your Sprite will always taste delicious and the exact same, no matter where you are. Every single McDonald's location filters water before adding it to the soda machine. So even if the water wasn't fresh to start with, your Sprite will always taste perfect from a McDonald's machine.
I can't believe that's the only thing, though. I can't believe that's the only thing, though. Because filtration is very figured out.
McDonald's might be living in the future with this next trick. To keep your Sprite crisp and carbonated with that electric taste, McDonald's pre-chills their filtered water.
Interesting.
So the fridge is constantly keeping the water frosty. The cold temperature allows for higher levels of carbon dioxide.
I don't feel like I'm getting more carbonation from McDonald's drink necessarily.
I would have said that I do.
Sprite, I would for sure. McDonald's Sprite, I feel like I get more, but not every drink. Not Coke Zero for me personally.
If you've ever looked at McDonald's straws, you've probably noticed they're wider compared to most plastic straws. McDonald's claims the straws are wider so the pop can hit all your taste buds at once. I don't know about that. Of all things here, I like the straw. I don't know.
Yeah. There's something going on there, though. And you mean to tell me if it's as simple as what they're saying? Oh, it's as simple as more syrup. It's as simple as chilling the water. This is you just Google search this, right? You're telling me the other billion-dollar companies haven't done the same thing to be like, why is theirs better than ours?
Yeah.
Why is theirs better than ours? Oh, it's because all the stuff you can readily find on the internet. I don't buy that. I don't buy it. I don't buy it, sir. There's something else going on. They have a special relationship with Coke dating back to the 1950s.
How does the syrup work out? Does McDonald's supply the syrup, or is that Coke?
That's Coke.
I don't know. Okay.
So that's why I think like it's possible, whether it just be more sugar, whether it just be less of something else, I don't know what it would be, that they're putting it in McDonald's ones as well. Like they're just making the McDonald's syrups better. I'm not saying it's for sure the case. I'm saying, yeah, I buy it. I buy that there's something going on with McDonald's fountain drinks that makes them taste a lot better. Have you had a McDonald's High C since they brought back the Orange High C in like 2020?
No, not since they brought it back. But
my brother in Christ,
it still hits, bro.
It is unbelievable. And what's weird about it to me, right, is like, I'll go back to Pepsi. Taco Bell, granted I'm getting Baja Blast every time. If you get a Diet Pepsi, which is what I would get when the Baja is out, right? Diet Pepsi tastes to me like I'm drinking a bottle of Diet Pepsi, a 2-liter of Diet Pepsi, a can of Diet Pepsi. That is also the case for Coke products anywhere except McDonald's. I'm like, yeah, this tastes like Coke Zero out of a can. Bro, it's so different that I had soda in my fridge earlier today, a rarity for me. I went to McDonald's and I was like, should I just get a Coke Zero from here anyways? Because it's that much better? Dude. It's unbelievable.
I will say, and me and my brother specifically always thought this. You brought up Taco Bell. The Taco Bell in our hometown, the fountain Pepsi from there was the best fountain Pepsi in town. Hands down.
Interesting.
I don't know why, but oh my gosh. It was so good.
You wouldn't have got Baja back then, though, huh? Now you would get Baja Blast, right? Sure would have got.
I probably would get Baja. Or Sweet Tea. The Taco Bell Sweet Tea is
Sweet
really
tea,
good.
yeah.
But yeah, like, and I don't know if that was specifically our hometowns. I haven't gotten Pepsi at Taco Bell in years. But it would, for some reason, we're like, Taco Bell's Pepsi. Oh, it's so good.
So freaking good, man. And I understand there is variability. The machines have to play a role in it. And I'd certainly buy that different companies have different machines.
Sure.
So the machines are pumping syrup into the carbonated water to make you drink. Whatever. I just struggle to believe that no one's figured it out to catch up to this worldwide leader in McDonald's, the gold standard, at all. To the point that, again, it's a meme about McDonald's Sprite. McDonald's Coke is a well-known staple in the fast food industry. I'm going to vouch for the High C, like I said. I think they're the only place that does the Orange High C now, by the way. I think they discontinued it from fountains in general, and McDonald's brought it back in 2020. I'm not kidding you. It's not like I'm an avid purveyor of Orange High C. I'm not drinking it all the time. If you go buy a box of it from the store and then get it from McDonald's is 10 times better. Bro, it's better than the stuff you can buy in the store.
I would like to do a blindfold test. This would be kind of hard because you'd have to do it kind of quickly as to make sure like the ice didn't melt.
Or do no ice,
drinks,
period.
but like,
put ice in it.
Yeah, maybe a no ice. And give me a McDonald's Sprite, a Wendy's Sprite, Taco Bell Sprite, whatever everybody's got.
Starry.
Yeah, give me like 4 different Sprites and see if I could say this one's the best, and therefore it's probably McDonald's. See if I
should do this.
That'd be interesting.
We should do this. Yeah. We should each do this soon. Have our wives buy it for us. Do the little box thing. You know what I'm talking about? Make a little TikTok where we try it. We're like, I think this is the best. Compare like McDonald's, another restaurant, a can, and a bottle. But then do some sort of thing to figure it out.
I do think a can tastes better than a bottle, for sure.
That's okay. Do you drink it straight out of the can?
A glass bottle? Oh.
Okay, there's actual science behind that I won't bore you with right now. But basically it has to do with the fact that your mouth is touching the glass or your mouth is touching the can versus touching plastic.
Huh.
Literally, it matters. Okay. And I think like that's not a weird statement because like cans taste like metal. Metal is a taste. Metallic-y taste is a thing, right? And so like it just goes well with the soda, for example. So,
but glass has a glassy taste.
Yeah, I feel like if I have glass in my mouth, which is not an often thing, doesn't happen often, right? I'm like, Yeah, it tastes like glass. You know what I'm saying? I to a degree at least.
Call me Mr.
You know,
Glass at school.
certainly feels like glass, and mouth feel does impact the way you think about how something tastes. Per food critics, so mouth feel matters. The glass impacts the feel.
If I don't love it, I don't swallow.
What's that from? Is that from Ratatouille?
Ratatouille, yeah.
Yeah, food critic.
From Ego, yeah.
Dude, I've got to try the Ratatouille dish from Ratatouille one of these days. It looks amazing.
It looks so
and
good.
I've seen it in person, like actual Ratatouille, the dish itself. It never looks like that. Never.
No, yeah, they made it look like extravagant.
God,
it
does.
All the food in that movie
Scrumptious.
looks so good, dude. It looks so good. Whenever he's making the soup and he's like sprinkling the chives or whatever those are in the soup, I'm like, ooh.
This dude makes cheese and grapes look like it belongs in a museum next to the Mona Lisa. It looks scrumptious, my guy. And he goes
Really
like,
good.
with his cheeks full, I'm like, yes, it looks great, my guy. We are feasting.
One of the most underrated. Well, I don't know. I don't want to say it's underrated.
It
I
is
think
underrated.
I think if you actually Google like Disney Pixar rankings, I think sometimes people are actually now trying to catch on, and it's actually pretty high.
I think the
That's what it
perception
should
of
be.
it is underrated because I think if you're like, what's your favorite like Disney Pixar movie? It's never in anyone's top 3. At least if you're just rattling them off. If you like sit and you like write out a list of your favorite Disney Pixar movies, especially if I have a list to choose from of all of them, I'm confident saying it's top 3. I'm also confident saying Cars is top 3. Cars is phenomenal. It's not just like it's still good as an adult. I think Cars is a good movie, bro. I think it's good. And I will go as far as to say I think Ratatouille is better than. Do I say this to the Hernator of all people?
Careful.
I think it's better than Toy Story, bro. I think it's better than Toy Story. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I do. I think it's better than Toy Story, bro. I am a whore for some Ratatouille, though. I love Ratatouille.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say Up, which
Definitely better than Up.
you still might say no.
Yeah, it's definitely better than Up. Sorry. I think Cars and Toy Story are better than Up, too. Up is really good, though. This is a hard... I have one that I think is better than all of them that you're going to be like, what? You might not have even seen it. I think Coco is the best Disney Pixar movie. It's freaking phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal.
I've heard it's
So,
great.
Yeah, it's worth watching,
I'll
dude.
check it out. I'll check it out.
That's one that actually makes me like... I hate to even mention this because I don't like the way conversations go around this these days. Because people mention it as a like, you'll get what I'm saying in a second. I think Coco does make me cry every time. I don't like it when people are like, I cried 3 times. I cry every time. Or unironically, I should say. That's a meme. Unironically, when people say I don't like it. It's impossible to see this and not cry. I just don't like the way people talk about crying because it's like, whatever. But Coco, I only mentioned it just now because I'm thinking about it and I'm like, it's putting me in that spot in my head of like, oh no. You know, like, it's a great movie. Coco is so freaking good, dude. I love Coco.
Okay.
I cry every time.
Like if you cry every time. Inside Out made me cry. Toy Story 3.
Inside Out made you cry? The first
Inside
one?
Out made me
I haven't
cry.
seen the second one.
Yeah. I haven't seen the second one either.
Toy Story 3, I don't think I cried at Toy Story 3, but it's incredibly sorrow-invoking.
I teared up whenever
Sorrowful.
whenever Andy's driving away and Bonnie made Woody like wave at him. I was like, oh.
That
was
is
it,
so
bro.
brutal. Especially like we're going over, and I don't really care at this point. It's not really a surprise if you look behind me at all that like I have a weird relationship in my head with like my childhood toys, my childhood interests and stuff. I do get really emotionally nostalgic for all of those things that I just have like a lifelong soft spot for. Like,
Yeah.
I cried in an episode of Blue's Clues in college one time. I was scrolling through my college TV channels. It was like 2 a.m. I was up till 4:30 in the morning every day in college, by the way. So like I still had a couple hours left. That's like my 6:30 right now, right?
Yeah.
And I'm scrolling, and it gets to Noggin. Why was that on the college TV channel selection? I don't know. Noggin. Blue's Clues is playing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I haven't watched Blue's Clues in like a decade.
20 years.
Or at least since my baby cousins were younger. I'm going to watch it. I cried at the first episode.
Okay.
Because it just takes me back, dude, to when I didn't know anything that I know now, and life was so simple, and we were so innocent. I love Blue's Clues. I love all of my childhood stuff like that. Early Pokemon stuff still does this to me to this day, and I'm just like, man, I remember, like, there was only... Yeah. I don't remember there being just 151. I was born in 99. That's when they came out here. I remember there being just 386. Right? Generation 3 was the brand new one. Wow, Gen 3. It's on the Game Boy Advance now. And now we're on Generation 9, bro. There's over 1,000 of them. And I still love it. It's just not the same. So.
That you are 100% right. Like, dude, that VeggieTales. We've been watching VeggieTales.
I bet that gets you. Yeah.
Dude, it gets me. Dude, I like the specifically Madame Blueberry, the little like tune that plays it. I tear it up. Okay. I was like, oh my gosh, it just hits you, dude. When nostalgia comes, it comes hard, dude. It comes like a freight train, and it just hits you. It hits.
Cat and I's nephew loves Little Bear. It was his father's favorite show, so that's why they're like,
yes.
I don't mean this in a bad way at all, but they're kind of like pushing Little Bear really hard for him, and he's taken to it. Like, he loves it. He'll go, Bear? And I'm like, oh, so cute. Bear? Right? One of his first words was bear.
That's awesome.
And so, like, when we're around and he's awake and, you know, you're not just going to have anything on the TV. Teach their own, I guess. But, like, they like to at least have something on the TV while he's playing whatever, if we're all in the living room and the nephew's in the living room. That's for him. It's always Little Bear. And so I end up watching a lot of Little Bear. Dude. They don't make them like they used to, bro. They don't. That show is so good and calming and peaceful. And like, oh no, I stepped in a puddle. What am I going to do? And it's just, there's nothing like that these days. Like, even like SpongeBob, which is still a kid's show, has changed so drastically. You can't go one episode without, you know, Squidward gets whacked in the head by a 2-ton mallet and all of his organs explode and he looks disgusting and there's colors everywhere on the screen, so like an obnoxious way. And I'm like, what is with the gross out humor these days?
It's like sensory overload. Yeah.
Yes, sensory overload. Mm-hmm. Not an uncommon opinion that it would hit that. I would go as far as to say Cocomelon, which has science behind it, that it does trigger sensory overload. No offense if you use Cocomelon.
We do not. I hate
Cocomelon is cheeks, bro. Okay? Yeah. It's like AI garbage, basically. Bluey, though, I have watched Bluey. As you well know, Kat and I do not have a child, but she babysits for kids, so she's seen a lot of Bluey, and she's like, you need to check it out. It's so good. And they write it with the parents in mind. It makes me feel like that era when I was a kid, 25 years ago, of like the little, like the details and the pacing and the volume and the, you know, nothing happens for the whole episode. That's really massively important. Just a tiny little plot, really, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, phenomenal.
Speaking to that, Oswald. Dude,
it's the best nothing happens show.
Perhaps the most like calming voice of all children's shows. Whoever voiced Oswald, which I'm sure somebody out there knows, and I do not.
I don't either.
There wasn't even a background most of the time. It was like whatever building they were at was drawn.
Yeah.
It's so like relaxed. Oh my gosh,
and like,
it's great.
Another one, you mentioned the relaxing voice, and this is where I thought you were going with this. Bear in the Big Blue House.
Okay.
Did you watch it?
I did not watch it, but I know of it, obviously. Yeah.
And what I find interesting about it is that they had like 3D puppets. I think Jim Henson did Bear in the Big Blue House, by the way, for what it's worth. Or at least at least the factory or studio Jim Henson did. I think he's no longer with us at that time. But for it to have that kind of like the 3D puppet aspect to it and still be like calming for kids and interesting, I don't know, man. Like that stuff is just so good. That stuff is so good.
Yep.
Yeah, I unironically enjoy Bluey. I've seen probably half of all the episodes of Bluey out there. I think they're so good. So, yeah.
They haven't.
I don't know how we got into the subject, but I'm glad we did.
All over the place. All over the place, man.
So what was your number one go-to kid show? Would you call it VeggieTales?
Like very little, yeah. I liked VeggieTales. Thomas the Tank Engine was a big one.
That's
which again, if you go back and watch it, it was kind of like not a whole lot going on.
Dun, 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 dun. That song is good. Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely like Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh was great.
What was your first, like, I'm going to call it, like, cool. What was your first cool kids show? and I would juxtapose Blue's Clues with Power Rangers or Ninja Turtles in that case. Like, you get to the age where you're like, I don't need baby crap anymore. I need, like, cool stuff. And, like, Power Rangers, if you watch it as an adult, my God, it's so corny and cringy lame. But to a kid, you're like, yeah, man, it's so cool. You know, like, did you have one of... You were into one of those, even if it was just Power Rangers or something.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I like Power Rangers. I would have to think of other things. Ninja Storm.
Go, Power Rangers, go. Ninja Storm, let's go. Did you watch that one?
I don't know. I don't think so because there's so many. All right, I feel like the more
you
like
dig
into Power Rangers, the more pop up. It's like, oh my God, like,
I think it was.
I've never heard of.
Dude, so I got. Don't grief me too hard for this, please. It's not surprising. I am 25. I have gotten back into everything I was into as a child at least one time. Sometimes recurring. Like Ninja Turtles are big right now, right? Like that's I'm huge into those again as of this year because I go long enough without thinking about them that when I think about them again, I'm like, oh my God, look at what all I've missed, right? So like high school, I think like technically like 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade, like one of my baby cousins was into Power Rangers, and I was actually seeing him quite a bit at that time. He was probably 4 or 5 at that point too. He's in high school now. It makes me feel so freaking old. But Power Rangers was on a lot if I was at my aunt and uncle's house. And it was a new one, so I'm like, it's not the one I grew up with, but it's Power Rangers Samurai. And I'm like, yeah, this is actually kind of decent, right? And then I'm at FYE, and I see seasons I recognize for like $5 for the whole season. I'm like, yeah, I'm not above this. It's not going to help me get any dates, but I'm not above this. Like, I will watch Power Rangers. So I did, and I got into it. All of this to say that after Mighty Morphin, it was pretty much like every year was a new kind of Power Rangers for a long time, or 2 years. So the two that I was like, the first ones I remember being brand new were Ninja Storm and then Dino Thunder. Dino Thunder, which was my favorite.
I think I remember Dino Thunder.
That one was so good. Dude, it was so good. They did like a different kind of camera for that one too. It was like a serious television show kind of camera style. I don't know. Yeah. So what was your cool kid show?
It might be Power Rangers. I'm trying to think of like other examples. Do you have any other examples?
Yeah, I struggle a little bit with that. I'm like, like if it would be on like Disney XD or Cartoon Network, like Pokemon is another one. Pokemon's another one for sure. But I wasn't allowed to watch Pokemon for like a couple years there. Interestingly enough,
could, yeah.
You weren't allowed to either.
I was not allowed.
Yeah, I was like, no, you can't watch Pokemon. It's the devil. It's literally
wasn't allowed to watch Harry Potter.
Franchise. No, I wasn't allowed to watch Harry Potter either. But my older brother was allowed to watch both. That's eventually how I got into Pokemon. I was never really into Harry Potter. He was my half brother, so he moved in and already had like habits formed, interests formed, and they weren't going to be like, you can't like this now. So that's kind of how that happened. They weren't like being contradictory.
Right.
So I never really got into Power Rangers. That's how I got into Pokemon, and now I like it 10 times more than he ever did, still to this day. So yeah, Pokemon, Bakugan. Remember Bakugan?
I remember Bakugan. Yeah.
Dude, it was cool. Yu-Gi-Oh, Sonic. Again, Ninja Turtles is a big one for me. Trying to think of what else is live action besides like Power Rangers though. There's not a lot of live action.
Would you count stuff that's not live action, but it's still like I feel like 100%. I felt cool for saying that I watched Courage growing up.
Courage would be one of those too. Except that one's not even really like child oriented. I don't know how it ended up on a child's network. Period.
Dude. I go
dark.
back randomly. That's another one. I watched. I think it's quite literally the last episode of the show.
Yeah,
where they show like Courage's like origins. I cry in that episode.
That episode is heartbreaking.
I cried last week watching Courage the Cowardly Dog. It's great, but dude, that show in general, I go back. I'm like, this is freaky. I would 100% attribute the fact that I love horror thrillers now to me starting with Courage.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's encouraging.
How was it on a kids network?
I don't know.
How?
Freaky, dude.
It's still freaky. I was horrified of Courage as a kid, for what it's worth. It scared me to death. I wouldn't watch it and enjoy it or ever sit through like a full episode. My older brother liked it. And also Billy and Mandy was not my favorite either. Because I
did not like Billy and Mandy. Right? I did not like Billy and Mandy.
The humor on that was kind of weird even in retrospect. It was like, okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Unsettling.
Humor is so subjective, obviously. Like I may find this funny, and then I may find this funny, and you're like, those are two totally different things. Like whatever. I don't like Billy's just such an idiot, right? Like don't like. Dude. Look at this, how funny because he's so stupid. I probably don't find that funny. Like
it has to be done right. Patrick Star is insultingly dumb to you as the audience sometimes. When done right, it's great. There are classic episodes of SpongeBob where I will enjoy the whole episode. very few classic episodes, I should say, but some, where it's like, really, like, Patrick does this. You'll notice as the franchise goes on, we get to, like, I would literally call it, like, somewhat modern. Like, I don't know how to describe it, though. Like, I kind of think of SpongeBob as in, like, the first couple seasons and then, like, first couple 100 episodes. The first 100 episodes are all really good. At the end of the first 100 episodes, with an episode being a 30-minute slot, by the way, for what it's worth, you really start to notice the change. I also have the next 100 episodes, they call it, on DVD. By the end of it, it's not even a little bit funny to me. Those ones lean so heavily on Patrick being a retard that it's not even funny. Okay? I had a feeling that would get you good. God. Can we put that in the podcast?
Yeah.
It's our podcast. We can say we want to. That meme that was like, if SpongeBob's autistic, I think I know what Patrick is, but I can't say it.
I know it.
I know what it is, but I don't think I can say it. They lean really heavily on that, and they don't do it tastefully, and I'm like, so stupid. Like, come on. That's exactly how Billy is on that. So I won't pivot one more time, and we can wrap up eventually, and say other ones. Just trying to see if there's another one that rings a bell for you, or like rings true for you. The animated DC hero shows or Marvel shows were like definitely targeted towards the younger audience, but not like Little Bear and Franklin the Turtle audience. You know what I'm saying? Did you watch any of those as a little kid either?
I didn't watch like Teen Titans, but I watched Justice League.
Yes.
Justice League was great. I know Teen Titans is regarded as like being great. I just never watched.
What about like Spider-Man, Batman, or Superman?
I definitely watched like all the Spider-Mans I watched.
Yeah,
back to like the 90s cartoon.
The 90s Spider-Man.
Dude,
Spider-Man.
I just this week finally actually watched X-Men 97. And dude, when that theme
current series?
Yeah, when that theme comes on, dude, I get goosebumps. I never skip it. If you skip the intro to X-Men,
never
get out. Get
never.
out.
I need to watch 97. Good, okay, does it follow up the animated TV show from the past, though, technically speaking?
Honestly,
should I have watched it all?
I need to watch like where it left off because I don't remember
Disney Plus.
obviously at this point.
I have watched some episodes.
That's why I'm watching 97, so I guess that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I don't remember where the original X-Men series like left off. If it is just like picking up, or if it did take it.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I personally definitely don't remember happening in the old series.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I don't like. Don't spoil it for me. I got the vibe that like someone dies, bro. Like.
Okay, well. This isn't a spoiler because you never see it happen, and it makes it known within a minute into the episode. I mean, Charles Xavier is dead.
Okay. I think that does happen in the old cartoon towards the end.
Okay. See, I don't remember that. Okay.
Yes. I think
so
I do remember him dying in the old cartoon. I think he just like, oh God, it's pulling from like the deep recesses of my mind. He definitely doesn't get like straight up like shanked or anything, but I think like he just is like, it's almost like that weird TV way of like, I have a weird example here. Full House has an episode where Uncle Jesse's family comes in from, I want to say Greece. He has this grandfather, whatever name, Papuli, right? Papuli's visiting, and you know the little kids like Michelle really loves Papuli. He dies while he's there. Yeah. They don't show it. They just like cut from one scene to another. And, like, it's the adults, like, talking or whatever, and then, like, they have to break it to the kids of, like, Papuli's, pushing daisies, y'all. Like, and it's, like, it's almost weirder when they don't show it. Because then it's like, whoa, like, the vibes changed and there was nothing to happen. I think it's one of those kinds of deaths, if I'm not mistaken, for Charles Xavier.
Okay.
Definitely talked about, definitely mentioned, but I don't think you, like, watch him on a hospital bed flatlining or watch him get shanked. I don't think, anyways. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember. Because that's like a big storyline is like apparently he leaves the X-Men in charge of Magneto, of all people. So you're like, what?
Dude, I just wonder if they're going to put Wanda and Quicksilver in that. They keep them separate from the X-Men because of the weird X-Men licensing issues. Like X-Men and Spider-Man have been through licensing issues for years. But like, I didn't know until like not all that long ago. Like, Wanda is Magneto's kid. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Doesn't that blow your mind? She's a freaking mutant, dude. She's Magneto's daughter. So is Pietro. Well, they're twins, usually, so that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know that. Huh.
And the reason you probably didn't know that is because the X-Men movies have been, like, kept separately from the MCU for ages. And, like, she and Quicksilver's had a weird history, too, if you look it up. They weren't included in the licensing deals for, like, the X-Men. So, like, Marvel retained the X-Men, obviously sold to Disney, whatever. So, like, they got Scarlet Witch. They didn't get her father. It's kind of weird. So I think it is all under one umbrella pretty safely now. I mean, we just saw X-Men 97, whatever. Spider-Man, still owned by Sony, but they have a great working relationship with Disney now. So what were we doing letting companies buy one superhero, by the way? What the frick were we doing? So my God, dude. Dude, so the Ninja Turtles. One of my favorites, right? I happen to have a comic book right here, right? This logo right here is very reminiscent of the logo from their original comic book, like issue 1 from 1984, okay? But it's not the logo you probably know the best with the Ninja Turtles, being the 80s one that has, like, it says turtles with an arch, whatever.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon buys the rights to the Ninja Turtles, okay? Including the 80s TV show. Can show the 80s TV show. Can make merchandise. Can make toys, whatever. Can't use that logo until, like, a couple years ago. Huh? They own the Ninja Turtles. Yeah, there was some weird screwy licensing deal from the 90s where, like, they got the rights to the logo from the TV show. What? What were we doing there, folks? And it was like certain things too, like toys. It was like shirts were good to go. Like toys, though, you couldn't put that logo on it for years.
That's so stupid.
What were we doing in the 90s, bro? We done with the 90s. We done with the 90s.
Yeah.
They don't know. We went way over, sir. Anything else you'd like to say, or you had enough of me yapping for the night?
I think we went around the table fully. I think we got a nice melting pot of subjects. Yeah.
Something for everyone in this episode, y'all.
Yeah.
If you can't find something you're interested in this subject, we're just not the podcast for you. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
no. From sports to random cognitive games to random
conspiracies,
conspiracy theories,
of various degrees.
Yeah, to childhood shows and
superheroes and licensing and just another regular episode of Headaches and Hot Takes. Another great episode of Headaches and Hot Takes in the books. Hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. Leave us a 5-star review if you're on Spotify or another podcasting platform if you enjoyed the episode. Seriously, that stuff helps us a ton. If you could do any of those things, we would greatly appreciate it. Anything else from you, sir?
Peace.
Hooday, baby.